Hey everyone, today's video is all about the psychology of attraction and why we're drawn to certain types of people. Have you ever wondered why you find some people more attractive than others? Or why you have a specific type that you're drawn to? Well, you're not alone. In this video, we're going to explore the science behind attraction and take a deep dive into the factors that influence our romantic preferences. But wait, there's more. While there's no denying that physical attraction plays a big role in who you're attracted to, there are also other factors at play. We'll be covering everything from childhood experiences to personality traits, and how they can all impact our attraction to certain types of people. So, whether you're single and looking for love, or just curious about the mysteries of attraction, this video is definitely for you. So, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. But before that, don't forget to check out the links in the description below for my tips and recommendations when it comes to relationships. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. So let's get back to the topic of physical attraction and why it plays a big role in who we find attractive. As human beings, we're naturally drawn to physical features that we find attractive, and this can vary from person to person. For example, some people might be attracted to tall, muscular individuals, while others might prefer someone who's a leaner physique. But why is that? Well, believe it or not, there's actually a science behind physical attraction. It all comes down to our biology and evolution. Studies have shown that certain physical features, like symmetrical facial features, clear skin, and a healthy body, are seen as more attractive because they're indicators of good health and fertility. But here's the thing. Physical attraction isn't the only factor at play when it comes to who we find attractive. I used to think that physical attraction was the most important thing in a relationship. But then, I met someone who didn't fit the mold of what I typically found attractive. And yet, I was drawn to this person in a way that I couldn't explain. That experience really opened my eyes to the fact that there's so much more to attraction than just physical features. In fact, some studies have shown that shared values and interests can be just as important as physical attraction when it comes to forming a long-lasting, fulfilling relationship. So, while physical attraction definitely plays a role in who we find attractive, it's important to remember that it's just one piece of the puzzle. In the next section, we'll be diving deeper into other factors that influence attraction, so be sure to stick around. Now, we're going to take a closer look at how our childhood experiences can shape our romantic preferences, and I've got some really interesting facts to share with you. Did you know that research has shown that the quality of our early attachments with our caregivers can play a major role in the kind of romantic partners we're attracted to as adults? For example, if we have caregivers who are warm, responsive, and supportive, we're more likely to be drawn to partners who exhibit those same qualities. But if our caregivers were distant or unresponsive, we might find ourselves attracted to partners who are emotionally unavailable. This is all because we always prefer the things that we are familiar with. But that's not all. There are other childhood experiences that can influence our attraction preferences too. For example, studies have shown that children who were bullied or teased for certain traits or characteristics may be more likely to seek out romantic partners who possess those same traits as a way of reclaiming their power. I have a friend, let's call her Sarah, who was always teased in school for being overweight. As a result, she struggled with low self-esteem and feelings of insecurity for many years. However, as she got older and started dating, she noticed that she was consistently attracted to men who were also overweight or had other physical features that were often subject to ridicule, such as acne or baldness. At first, Sarah didn't really understand why she was drawn to these types of men. But as she learned more about attraction psychology, she started realizing that her experiences of being teased and bullied as a child might play a role in her preferences. She realized that by seeking out partners who possessed the same physical traits that she had been bullied for, she was able to reclaim some of her power and feel more confident in her own skin. Of course, this realization didn't magically solve all of Sarah's insecurities overnight, but it did help her understand herself better and make more conscious choices about the types of partners she pursued. And over time, as she worked on building her own self-esteem and confidence, she found that she became more open to dating a wider range of people, regardless of their physical appearance. Now, you might be wondering, how do these childhood experiences impact our attraction preferences on a biological level? Well, researchers believe that our early experiences can shape the neural pathways in our brains that govern our responses to reward and pleasure, which in turn can influence the types of people we find attractive. But here's the good news. Just because our childhood experiences can influence our attraction preferences, it doesn't mean that we're doomed to repeat negative patterns in our relationships. With awareness and effort, we can work to recognize any biases or patterns in our attraction and make conscious choices about the kind of relationships we want to build. Next up, we'll be talking about personality traits and how they can impact attraction, so be sure to stay tuned. When it comes to attraction, personality traits can play a big role in who we're drawn to. Some people might find themselves consistently drawn to outgoing, extroverted types, while others may be more attracted to quieter, introverted individuals. Personally, I've always been drawn to people who are confident and self-assured. When I was younger, I had a lot of self-doubt and insecurity, and I found that being around people who exuded confidence and charisma helped me feel more confident and capable myself. However, I also realized that sometimes my attraction to these types of people could lead me down a path of self-doubt and comparison, as I found myself constantly measuring myself against their accomplishments and successes. That being said, it's important to recognize that attraction based solely on personality traits isn't always a recipe for a successful relationship. It's important to also consider factors like shared values, interests, and goals, as well as the ability to communicate and resolve conflicts effectively. Ultimately, the key to building a healthy and fulfilling relationship is to be aware of our own attraction patterns and preferences, and to be open to exploring new possibilities and experiences. By being honest with ourselves and with our partners, and by committing to growth and self-improvement, we can build relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and love, and that bring out the best in both ourselves and our partners. Now, let's dive a little deeper into the concept of chemistry. At its core, chemistry is the intangible feeling of attraction and connection that we feel with certain people. It's a complex mix of physical, emotional, and psychological factors that come together in a unique way for everyone. From a scientific standpoint, chemistry can be explained in part by the release of certain hormones and neurotransmitters in our brains. When we feel a strong attraction to someone, our brains release chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, and norepinephrine, which can create feelings of pleasure, bonding, and excitement. But chemistry is more than just a chemical reaction. It's also influenced by our past experiences, our personal preferences, and even our unconscious biases. For example, we might feel a strong spark with someone who reminds us of a past love, or who shares certain traits or qualities that we find particularly attractive. At the same time, there are some biological factors that can contribute to chemistry as well. Studies have shown that certain genes related to immune system function and scent receptors can influence our attraction to others, suggesting that our bodies are wired to seek out partners who are a good genetic match. While it's true that chemistry is a crucial component of attraction, it's also important to remember that not everyone will feel that spark with everyone they meet. And that's probably a good thing. Can you imagine if everyone had a spark with everyone else? We'd have a lot more cheaters on our hands. But in all seriousness, the fact that chemistry is so individual and complex is what makes it such an exciting and sometimes frustrating aspect of dating and relationships. It means that we never quite know who we might connect with and why. But when we do find that special someone who ignites that spark, it can be truly magical. Ultimately, chemistry is a complex and multifaceted aspect of attraction that can be influenced by a wide range of factors, from our biology and past experiences to our personal preferences and unconscious biases. But by being open to new experiences, cultivating self-awareness, and communicating openly and honestly with our partners, we can create fulfilling and healthy relationships that are grounded in a deep sense of chemistry and connection. So, my final thoughts on the topic are this. Attraction is an incredibly important and powerful force in our lives, but it's also something that we have the power to shape and influence. Whether you're single and looking for love, or already in a long-term relationship, taking the time to understand your own attraction patterns can help you build stronger connections and create the kind of relationships that truly light you up. Take a moment to reflect on your own attraction patterns and preferences. Consider the type of people you're typically drawn to and the reasons behind it. Do you notice any recurring biases or patterns in your attraction history? By being aware of these tendencies, you can make conscious choices and build fulfilling relationships. Let us know in the comments section what you thought of today's video. We love hearing from our viewers and always appreciate your feedback. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.